Hello. Today we are going to introduce Taiwan's first female president, Tsai Ing-wen. Today we're going to talk a little bit about her personal background and about her political career. Here you can see a picture of Tsai. Tsai Ing-wen was born in the Zhongshan district of Taipei on August 31st, 1956. She grew up in Fangshan Township in Pingdong in southern Taiwan. Her father, Tsai Chie-shin, was born into a Hakka family, and her grandmother was Paiwan, a member of a Taiwanese Aboriginal group. Tsai is the youngest child in her family. Tsai Ing-wen's father originally worked in car repair. Later, after years of hard work, he established a hostel and went on to invest in real estate. He was a good husband and treated his wives fairly through multiple marriages. He showed love and support for all of his children. Tsai was part of a large family, but not a family that was known for fights or conflicts. In fact, her parents influenced her greatly. She followed her parents' guidance and direction, and showed thought and care throughout many stages of her life and career. While her father had modest beginnings, he went on to great success, but she never showed a proud attitude and never felt a need to flaunt the success that her family benefited from. While Tsai is quite famous in Taiwan and has many brothers and sisters, her siblings have never given any interviews. They generally keep a low profile and support Tsai quietly. Tsai has displayed a great appreciation for the work her parents put into building a positive life for her and her siblings. Tsai Ing-wen studied at the Zhongshan Girls' High School. Her father hoped she would go on to study in the Department of Law. And Tsai was admitted to the College of Law at the National Taiwan University, where she completed her bachelor's degree in 1978. She went on to study at Cornell University, and in 1980 she received a master's degree in law from Cornell, a very prestigious school in the state of New York. After graduating from Cornell, she went on to study at the London School of Economics and Political Science, and in 1984 she completed a doctoral degree in law. She was certified to practice as a lawyer in the United States, and in 1997 she was fully qualified as a lawyer in Taiwan. Tsai was a government consultant from the year 1984 until the year 2000. As a government consultant, she was involved in negotiations for Taiwan to join the World Trade Organization and the General Agreement, Tariffs and Trade Organization. She provided legal consultation during these negotiations and also helped review the signed document. Tsai Ing-wen was also the Mainland Affairs Council Committee Chairperson from 2000 to 2004 under then President Chen Shui-bian. Tsai Ing-wen was the first committee director of the Mainland Affairs Council. Approval of her job in that role ranged as high as 60 percentage points, according to one poll done at the time. Later, Tsai joined the Democratic Progressive Party, right around 2004. And then, on February 1st, 2005, Tsai was elected a member of the Legislative Yuan. However, she only served on the Legislative Yuan for a short time. In 2006, she resigned from the Legislative Yuan and accepted the nomination to be the DPP vice presidential candidate. She served as the vice president of the Executive Yuan from 2006 to 2007 as a member of Su Seng-chang's cabinet. Further, she was the committee chairperson of the Consumer Protection Committee. From 2008 to 2012, Tsai Ing-wen was the chairperson of the Democratic Progressive Party. The DPP was defeated in the presidential elections in 2008. It was because of this defeat that Tsai decided to run for DPP chair. She was the 12th chair of the DPP and the first female chair for the party. In 2010, Tsai ran for a second term as DPP chair. She received over 90% of the vote and was successfully re-elected to the position. Tsai later went on to run for mayor of New Taipei City. In 2010, she ran against Chu Li-luan. Tsai lost by a small margin, receiving 47% of the vote to Chu's 52%. In 2011, Tsai decided to run in the upcoming presidential election. Her slogan focused on rationality, toughness, courage, and trust. She hoped to have a positive impact on Taiwan and Taiwan's people. During the campaign, she raised many issues facing Taiwan, including diplomacy, the state of the economy, the safety of Taiwan's people, and the poverty gap, that is, the gap between the rich and the poor. She wanted to lead the country toward new and better solutions. She was the first female candidate in a Taiwanese presidential election. She ran against Ma Ying-jeou and Sun Ju-ing. Tsai received over 6,090,000 votes, coming in at about 45.63% of the votes cast. Ma received over 6,890,000 votes, coming in at 51.6% of the votes cast. And Sun received just over 369,000 votes, coming in at 2.77% of the votes cast. After losing the election, Tsai resigned as chairperson of the Democratic Progressive Party in 2012. But she still believed that perseverance can bring success. She didn't give up the values that she cherished, and she did not give up on her supporters. Instead, failure was an opportunity for her to stop and reconsider, finding a new perspective and exploring new directions. On March 15th, 2014, Tsai again ran to lead the DPP. She won the election and has been the DPP chairperson ever since. On November 29th, 2014, Tsai led the DPP to a historic victory in local elections. After the elections, the DPP held 13 mayoral positions and 291 legislative positions. The DPP's 47% of votes was considerably greater than the KMT's 40%. Although the DPP still lost 95 seats in the legislature, they made huge progress compared to most past elections. Then, in February of 2015, Tsai Ing-wen registered for the DPP's presidential nomination. On April 15th, 2015, the DPP formally nominated Tsai Ing-wen to be their presidential candidate for the second time. During the campaign, in May of 2015, Tsai went to the United States for 12 years, attempting to convey the idea that Taiwan is a democracy, committed to the democratic principles that are held so valuable in America. Then, on June 3rd, 2015, she made a speech during her trip to Washington. She promised that, if elected president, she would work toward a stable cross-strait relationship. She also visited the White House and had meetings with U.S. security advisors and other American national security officials. She is the first Taiwanese presidential candidate to visit the American White House. On December 13th, 2015, she appeared in an issue of the Financial Times in an article discussing female leaders from around the world. Others who appeared in the same issue included German Premier Angela Merkel and Myanmar politician Aung San Suu Kyi. Then, on January 16th, 2016, Tsai Ing-wen was elected as the 14th president of Taiwan. She's the first female president in Taiwan's history, and only the fourth female president in Asia. Worldwide, this makes her the 19th female president of any country. Throughout her life, even as she faced setbacks or after losing elections, she never gave up, and she has found great success.